Hi, I'm Mike Chavira, and this is my final for the course. One of the three things I learned from this course was how to stay organized and mentally managed in college. So, what I mean by this, the first part of being organized, I mean it just in like a more literal term, just having a place to organize your like notes or your documents in this class, just having a place stored for them and being able to go to it whenever you want, having easy access to it. It was great for me. We learned these organizational skills from like the first to fourth week in the course, and honestly, it's resonated with me since. And what I mean by mentally managed in college, I mean my thoughts being organized with them, like writing them down on notes and just being able to like look at the visualized thoughts I've been having is just a great way to go around this course. Like having due dates or assignments or just anything, having those on a notes can really go a long way. Why are they important? It's very important to stay organized, both physically and mentally in college, just so you don't get overwhelmed. An overwhelmed feeling is something we're all familiar with. Feeling overwhelmed just feels so pressurizing and just draining, which is why it's best to try to avoid it as much as possible by being organized. I can apply these skills to myself and others by just vouching for its successfulness and applying it to my everyday life and just really understanding the successfulness that comes with it. And if others were to do it, the better, because it is a very effective strategy that I learned early on and it's helped me since. The second thing I learned was disorders and the effects it has on lives outside of mine. So what I mean by that is some of the disorders we learn through, like eating disorders or like schizophrenia or depression or anxiety. Those are all very, very real situations that people deal with on in their everyday lives, and having an understanding on how this affects people really allows me to understand them on a whole new level. These are very important because they're feelings that everyone feels. Regardless of who you are, everyone has felt some type of anxiousness or depression or any type of disorder in their life. We're all familiar with it. We have family members or we have friends. It's a common occurrence in everyday's life. It's very important to have that competence with you. Being able to apply these skills and competence I have of disorders in everyday lives, I can do this by being able to understand people and just talking to them and hearing their story and just being able to understand really, really is a huge takeaway from this course. The third thing I learned was support and treatment plans. Those are everywhere. Whether you're struggling in classes or you're struggling financially or you're struggling with family issues, there are support plans everywhere. There are groups willing to help you. As long as you're willing to ask for it and take the steps to achieve it, support is everywhere. I know myself, I should have been more on it and I should have asked for more support when needed, but that is something I learned to grow and I'm currently working on it. But having that support, it can carry you a long way and it's not something to be ashamed of. Support is something we all need and it can really go a long way, as already mentioned. If I had to give advice to future students who are going to take this course, the advice I would give is to give yourself time to think. Really giving yourself that time to think, sitting alone, and just having those thoughts on what's going to get done, when it's going to get done, and how it's going to get done can really go a long way. I know something I would do. I'm pretty sure I already mentioned it, but to take notes. Just take notes on due dates, on times, on when you plan on getting it done, on any questions you have. Having those and the being able to visualize it on a piece of paper whenever you want, being able to reference it's helped me so much more than I it's taken me a long way throughout the course, and it's something I highly recommend. Another piece of advice I would give to students is just to take a deeper dive on yourself throughout the course as well, because having all of this knowledge on the course of disorders and different ways to advocate for yourself, that's a huge takeaway. But being able to understand yourself at the end of the course and being able to use the knowledge you were given can really be a changer in everyday lives. And Honestly, that is my takeaway from this whole course is being able to give yourself time and understand yourself so you can help others with the knowledge. Thank you, and have a good break.